What is going on? I'm Zedmont, also known as Anon Moose on the YouTubes. We're going to be doing something slightly different. Rather than doing a maxed account and pushing crab for 6 hours at a time until we get to the legendary statue, we're going to do it on a low level. Now, first of all, I want to point something out to you just in case you've missed it. If you scroll over, there is a free gift in the store. So while you're scrolling over here to enter the name Zedmont, with a Z, not an S. If it comes up saying must be different, just capitalize one of the letters. Boom, supporting Zedmont. Obviously, support whoever the heck you want. Just thought I would throw that one in there. Picking up free gold for the low levels. I don't know when that's going to be, though. There it goes right there. 2 days, 14 hours. So might as well claim it now because you're going to be so full of mega crab loot by the end of this. Now, Birthday Builder, 30 days for 139 might be something worth doing if you're a low level. Get extra resources, throw all of those resources from the crab towards an upgrade. Don't forget to claim your free trader crate. We're going to be so full of resources, it's going to be insane. Now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to boost all of my statues. Not really required at a low level because you're going to be so full of loot that you're probably going to have to take breaks every so often just to wait for things to upgrade and build and all that sort of stuff. But I figured for this stream, we're going to go ahead and just boost everything except for resource reward. I don't think you need to boost resource reward. Resource reward does work for Mega Crab though. So if you're looking at doing a big upgrade like a headquarters or a sculptor or something like that, do go ahead and upgrade. Nonetheless, we're going to get in here, we're going to do some attacking, and hopefully not have to use any troops for the first while. Make sure you pop the cryo bombs before you pop the critters, otherwise your critters are going to die and they're not going to be nearly as effective. Should not have to drop any troops, but it doesn't hurt to drop Everspark. Just get some free critters, let her drop some buildings, get some extra critters out there, and for the first 10 stages or so, you should not have to drop any troops at all. Don't want to have any troops accidentally die. If you have instant training, endless reserves, whatever you want to call it, drop those troops, get them clearing even quicker because realistically you should not have to use any troops and you want to get through those bases as fast as you possibly can. So now that we've popped the cryo bombs, we're going to get all of those free critters flying around. One thing to be aware of is that these cryo bombs will kill your low-level troops. They do some damage, so that is why I recommend not dropping any troops at all for the first few stages. Just let your critters do all the work for you and throw all of your GBE on the headquarters. The lower levels, you can still do this. As you can see there, this base was going to go down by just critters, but you definitely don't need to use any troops or have any special abilities or anything along those lines. So we're going to keep going. After we get done stage 5, I'll show you some more quick tricks that we can use. But for now, all we're going to be doing is dropping Everspark, throwing a hack out on those mortars, letting her get some troops out, and then clearing all sorts of mines back here, also clearing some buildings, being very careful not to pop those critters quite yet, because there's just too many mines around at this point, and we definitely want to make sure that our critters are going to do the most damage possible. So now that we've cleared a nice hole over here, going to clear a few more mines, going to get rid of that flamethrower. We're almost ready. Now what we're going to do here is clear this critter crate. What are those things even called? I don't think they're called crates. Our critters are going to spread nice and wide and then hopefully have enough health to get that last critter crate open, and they're going to take down the headquarters for us. Don't need to walk troops all the way back there. Don't need to lose individual troops to cannons or flamethrowers or anything like that. Just use the critters for the low stages. Help you get some extra resources without having to worry about troops reloading or anything along those lines. Now, one thing to be aware of is you don't want to have tanks loaded at this point, because if for some reason your attack goes awry and you have no GBE left, you can't drop tanks. So make sure you have rifles, maybe some medics, maybe some Zookas. If you have Grenadiers, those are also a great option because they have lots and lots of range. So for this one, the critters are on the right-hand side. We're going to pop that Cryo Bomb, get a little bit of GBE. Then we're just going to use all of our Gunboat energy, clearing this right side path so our critters can make it all the way to the core. Next, we're going to get rid of this mortar, which would also hinder our critters' ability to get to that core. And then just keep using Gunboat energy until you don't have any left. And at this point, those critters should be able to get to the core unimpeded. No need to worry about losing troops or anything along those lines. Just let your critters get all the way to that core, and they should be able to take it down. As you saw, they started to turn left towards those buildings that were there, and so that's why we cleared all of those buildings. If you don't have as much Gunboat energy as me, you can wait a little bit longer. You could even potentially drop your troops on this right-hand side and flare them way over here to speed things up a bit, but they're probably not going to get to that core before the critters do enough damage to take it down. So these low levels, you do not need troops. You do not need anything but a hero. Brick will do if you don't have Everspark yet. Just let the critters get to the core. That is your primary goal at these low levels, just to save your troops. Instant training changes Mega Crab drastically, and as you can see, our resources are starting to flow in, getting lots and lots of resources. Now, one thing to be aware of is other players are playing the Mega Crab. Obviously, duh. So what we want to do now is get as much loot as we possibly can. So we scout this base. It's got a lot of iron, a lot of stone. We're not going to worry about replacing that one. We're going to scout this player. You can see they don't have much iron, so I'm going to click Find New Opponent. Hopefully this person is playing the Mega Crab right now. Their storages are full. We managed to get a bunch more iron. So how it works is when a person lands on your map, you don't have any idea how much resources they have. When you scout is when it actually does a check against their base to see how much resources are there. It's doing a live check right now. They are very low on iron. We're going to click Find New Opponent. Now, our game has not checked this person's base, so we have no idea how much resources are there. If we scout it tomorrow after they finish Mega Crab, we're going to get far fewer resources. So make sure you not only replace the bases, but also scout them. Do not attack player bases right now. All it's going to do is push your victory points up and take away loot for later. So what I highly recommend is put a big thing here saying like, yes, good, and leave that base for next week after the Mega Crab is gone. You can get resources for a good 10 days, including the Mega Crab. We get resources for 3 days from the Mega Crab, and then we get resources for 6-7 days after the Mega Crab has ended by supplementing our loot using all sorts of good stuff. There are many tricks like this. If you have any other questions or none of this makes sense, please do let me know. As you can see here, no troops required, no hero required. We can just throw all of our artillery at the core, pick up free resources without losing any troops, and we can use those troops for operation attacks. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend attacking anything except for events and NPC bases at this point. By attacking NPC bases, you give yourself more chances to pick up PvP bases, and that doesn't hurt. Get rid of all your NPCs if you want. Do the daily event. Make sure you do the daily event because you're going to get extra powder, extra crystals there. But overall, as a low level, don't worry about anything except for getting big upgrades done. And I would highly recommend picking up that second builder for $1. 30 days for $1 is a pretty darn great deal, and it's going to get you upgraded very quickly. Twice as fast, I suppose, maybe even more than twice as fast, because you can do one big building and then a couple small ones while you wait. So the thing about Boom Beach is you want to rush your headquarters at all costs. I know other Supercell games, you get penalized for rushing your headquarters and it's not recommended, but for Boom Beach, rush that HQ. You make sure you use the recommended upgrade order. If you have any questions, I will make sure that I post that in the comments down below. But overall, this is one that you do not want to miss if you're a low level. Get your base upgraded. It is just so incredibly helpful to get your base as high a level as you possibly can, because there's a lot more fun at higher levels. You get more events, you get more heroes, you get more boats, more attacking power. With Boom Beach, please make sure you rush that HQ as fast as you possibly can. I'm going to drop one boat of Zukas over here just because they're going to pop those critter crates, which is, I should really look at what they're actually called, because I don't think they're actually called critter crates. And now we're just going to blow up some buildings. Remember that every single building you destroy actually does damage to that core, so you can actually do 70% of the damage just by destroying buildings. So Everspark destroying these buildings off to the sides looks like it's a waste of time, but it's actually pretty darn helpful. So hopefully this helps you. As far as upgrade order, you can see here, I have no buildings essentially. I only have one defense, and we're at HQ 17. I do not have any mines. I only have a level 1 sniper. I have upgraded all of my boats. Let's see. Oh, because I just upgraded to HQ 17, I can upgrade my landing crafts. One of the things someone was saying on Discord today was that as you upgrade, the upgrades get more expensive, which makes it just harder and harder to upgrade. And I completely disagree with that. The higher level you get, it actually gets easier to upgrade as long as you've upgraded your offense, because it gets easier to clear your map, easier to attack bases, and offense does not scale at the same level as defense. At low levels, you have trouble getting rid of that one base that has one mortar that keeps destroying all your troops. But as you upgrade, things just get easier and easier and easier. So please do upgrade your base ASAP. Upgrade your HQ, upgrade your sculptor, upgrade your gunboat. I feel like I am Steve Ballmer saying developers, developers, developers. If any of you out there get that reference, nonetheless, upgrade. The Mega Crab is a huge opportunity that none of us had years ago. Mega Crab used to come once every 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So now the fact that it comes every single month just means you can upgrade your base so much faster, which is going to unlock those extra warships, base levels, extra engine rooms, and it's going to be a lot more fun. Honestly, the farther you go in Boom Beach, the more fun it gets. So I highly recommend upgrading as fast as you possibly can. And I can't say the word upgrade another time in this video. I don't think we're going to... Oh, I think I just missed that shock on that flamethrower. That is probably the worst shock of my entire life. But hopefully, see, now we're in trouble. So this is where you want to not have tanks loaded, because it means that you can actually drop troops if you so desire. I don't think it's actually going to be required, because Everspark on her own is doing enough damage to just simply clear this entire map. We're going to drop some Zukas over on the side. Probably should have some riflemen loaded. Also should have some medics loaded, but shouldn't be a big deal, because this base is basically done, all using the power of critters, GBE, and Everspark. Now, one more thing I highly recommend using when it comes to armory, use your gold on barrage and artillery. As you can see here, barrage and artillery make life so much easier. Our Zuka levels aren't really relevant if there's no buildings left. So having a high-level barrage, high-level artillery means that you can do very good things without ever having to worry about your troop levels. We're going to get some more buildings destroyed, and we're going to set up for those critters to do all sorts of ridiculous damage once we get that cryo bomb pop. Just a reminder that cryo bombs, I'm fairly certain, can kill your critters depending on how much damage is allocated to this defensive building damage. So we're going to make sure that we also pop the cryo bomb, which is going to get rid of all sorts of mines. Cryo bombs are incredibly useful for the Mega Crab in the fact that they get rid of mines, get rid of shock mines, and allow our troops to come out firing without having to worry about stepping on a mine and losing all of them or something ridiculous like that. So all of these critters are going to come out. Cryo Bomb did not get rid of all of the shock mines, unfortunately, but we should be in fairly good shape once we get some... I think we might actually have to deploy some troops on this one. We'll find out very soon, but if so, it's not going to be a ton of troops. We should be okay. Just need to throw a shock on that flamethrower. Flamethrowers, machine guns do tons and tons and tons of damage. to critters, so you want to target them first when choosing which buildings you're going to get rid of. But as you can see here, machine guns, critters can get inside their blind spot, which turns into a great way to clear the map. Now, I don't know if we're actually going to be able to take this down using no troops. It kind of looks like we're going to have a bit of problems here. There's just too many buildings on this first octagon-shaped base. The octagon-shaped bases tend to be problematic, especially for low levels. I'm going to drop troops as soon as that first mortar is gone. Mortars versus Zookas, not super awesome. So we're going to use Everspark's Universal Hack. I think we could probably take this base down. Now I'm torn between trying and not trying. It's this weird YouTube thing where if I was not doing YouTube, I would just drop my troops and be done with it. But because we're already this far, I'm kind of curious to see if it'll actually go down or not. We've got 2 minutes. That's probably enough, but you know what? Let's just drop all sorts of Zookas over on this right-hand side and save ourselves a little bit of pain and suffering. Those mortars, as you can see, are completely distracted by the critters, so we shouldn't have a ton of issues with them, but our Zookas are likely going to get into the danger zone. And I just had to say danger zone. If any of you have ever watched Archer, you'll get that reference. I suppose, Top Gun, but for me, it's moved all the way to Archer just because Archer trumps Top Gun at this point. I haven't seen Top Gun Part 2, but not sure if that reference is going to cause me to lose some subscribers or not, but Archer, hilarious show. Please go watch. Also, Rick and Morty, also high on the hilarious shows. I love shows that are like between 19 and 26 minutes long, binge watching, so good. Now that we've got all the way up, you know what, let's get this first reward. I don't believe I have that anniversary trophy. One thing to be aware of is if you were one of the people who attacked in the very first Mega Crab, let's just look up Triangle 9. You actually can have 2 anniversary trophies. If we look up my base here, I believe I have both trophies out. Let's just have a quick look. I've got the diamond one here, and I've got the stone anniversary trophy up here. So you could, if you had 2 accounts, you could get 2 trophies and share them across bases. Oh, that's one important thing to check, actually. I believe I actually have on my other account, on the Tom's account, I have an XP 41 base with a diamond trophy, just because you could share between them. So if you have 2 trophies, you might not want to upgrade to the legendary trophy. That is a bit of a footnote. I've got to make that choice on my main account. Not sure which one is more important, to be completely honest. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different on this one. What I'm going to do here is just show that Everspark, again, is a great way to clear even the Mega Crab. We're going to smoke all the way back to here. Smoking 1 troop is just so much easier than smoking all of them, and Everspark has a decent amount of health. So she's going to walk across some mines probably, but we can just smoke her all the way to that back corner and probably take down stage 9 using nothing but Everspark. So Everspark is a fantastic way to not have to worry about loading troops if you don't have instant training. She can probably take down this base all on her own now that we've gotten her into the kill zone here. So decent way to take down this base. And if you're about to run out of time, if your troops are getting to the point, or the timer is getting down too low, we're going to move Everspark away from that cannon as it's about to become unfrozen. Hopefully she does not venture into its range. Okay, so I mean, at this point, if we wanted to, we can drop all of our Zookas at shore, and that cryo bomb right there is probably going to kill them all if we let it. So we're just going to let Everspark sit here, take this base down, and we're probably 90% likely to pick up that stone trophy with 0 troops lost. In a total of 20 minutes time. So hopefully this helps you get to whatever level you're trying to get to. Just remember, you're not going to be able to use all 40 attacks if you don't have instant training and you're a low level, unless you're online 24 hours a day. So consider using attacks just to barrage key resources and not drop any troops. It's way more important to just strategically use all of your attacks to fill up your storages than to worry about using all 40 troops and being perfect in all of your attacks. So we're going to take down stage 9, get to stage 10 using nothing but a hero, using 0 troops, losing 0 troops. And that can be incredibly helpful if you're a low level. So hopefully this helps you beat this mega turtle and get all sorts of upgrades started. There I go. I said I wasn't going to say upgrades again, but I just couldn't help myself, because the mega crab, mega turtle monthly events for low levels are just so awesome, and they'll help you get up to a max level as fast as you possibly can. So one other thing to note: when using your diamonds, make sure you use your diamonds to complete upgrades early. Don't use upgrades to buy resources. Otherwise, you're going to have nothing but a bad time, and it's not a good practice. So the most optimal way to upgrade is to follow the upgrade path that's in the comments down below, and to use your diamonds to finish upgrades before you go to bed, for example. Finish an upgrade before you go to bed, start a new one, and then wake up in the morning with 2 upgrades done and your base at a higher XP level, and hopefully that allows you to get your HQ upgraded. Anyways, I'm Zedmont. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something on this simple tutorial of how to get through the Mega Turtle as a low level. And like I've said before, consider scrounging in your couch cushions and get that extra $1, because getting that second builder is going to be hugely instrumental in getting your upgrades done faster. Extra builder for 1 month, if used correctly, can get you through so many XP levels. So anyways, that's it for me. As always, I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in. Don't forget to hit me up with your comments. I will reply. Otherwise, click that bell, like, share, subscribe, and all that other fun stuff. And throw creator code Zedmont into the creator boost slot. Anyways, that's all for me. I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in. Peace.